is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
7 minutes after 7, we thank everybody who chooses this as their way to start their morning. And we appreciate you every single day. Asante sana for joining us on Spice FM, on KTN, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on X, where else? On Radio Garden. All these platforms broadcasting from the Standard Group Center in Nairobi, Kenya, to the world. Wherever you are tuned in, good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, good day. Okay? It's the 17th day of September, and this day is the second day of the Employment and Labor Relations Court's annual symposium and exhibition. And this one is an important one. It's happening at the University of Nairobi. It started yesterday. It's going on today at the University of Nairobi, the Chandaria Auditorium. The conference brings together stakeholders and court users to discuss the role of the Employment and Labor Relations Court in fostering a world of work free from violence and harassment, including sexual and gender-based violence. The symposium is to create awareness on the International Labour Organization's Convention 190. It came into force in June 2021. And it is now under discussion in Kenya so that Kenya can ratify it as well. So please, if you've got some time, pass by there. That's a UON, the Chandaria Auditorium. It's open to the public. You are a stakeholder. So you are an employer or a worker. But you can go there. Okay? And if you are not able to go there physically, you can follow the discussions on the judiciary social media pages. Let's go to the judiciary social media pages on X, on Facebook, and you will find the conversations going on there. It's important. The Employment and Labor Relations Court is promoting social transformation through access to justice. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Why wait?
Why wait when you can loop?
Hey.
So imagine a situation where everything that you needed to do that concerned planning and your finances and payments and etc., you could get it in one place. So imagine a loop where everything is connected and you can just keep going round and round. So you wanted to pay your bills, you wanted to be able to transact, you want to set up your standing orders, you want to take an overdraft, you want to take a loan. You actually don't have to move from anywhere, and you can do all of this from the comfort of your phone. So what you do, you download the Loop app. Are you a Google Play Store guy or are you an Apple App Store gal? All you need to do is download the application and you can get into this fantastic world where everything that you have to do, you can do from your phone. You can move money from your mobile wallet to your bank. You can move money from your bank to your mobile wallet. Yeah. Like I said, apply for an overdraft of up to 100,000 shillings. You can apply for a personal loan of 3 million shillings. You can pay your utility bills. Kenya Power is knocking. Pay. You can move money and decide that you want to make sure that your business also is set up. There is nothing you cannot do. So why wait when you can loop it?
All right. Our next conversation is going to be about, something. And I told you what, it's called Migodi.
Migodi. I thought he was actually making it up. I can just make up words. And because I don't know, you just tell me that's what it is.
Mining is big business in this country, apparently. And there's a lot of money being made. And there are regulations in place and there are laws in place. In fact, there's a ministry in charge of mining, blue economy. So if mining is Migodi, blue economy is what?
What's blue in Kiswahili?
Something samawati.
Yeah? So it is uchumi samawati. And maritime affairs. Mambo ya maji. Mambo ya maji. Our guest is the chairman of the Kenya Chamber of Mines. He is Dr. Kanyoro Patrick. Dr. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the hot seat of the situation.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here this morning.
Good to have you here. Yeah. I think we're going to learn a lot this morning about mining in this country. But before you do that, let me also, educate you a little bit, right?
Yeah, thank you.
And this is because I can see you have a phone, and I know you, somebody who's the chair of the Kenya Chamber of Mines. You have very many members.
Yes.
Many times you want to communicate to all the members at a go, or you want to, keep your phone, making sure that you are able to call your member at any point or any stakeholder. Maybe it's the guys in the ministry, maybe at the county level. But you have stakeholders that you're engaging with and continuing talking to them on a daily basis. One thing you do not want is to try and call and then it tells you that you don't have sufficient airtime.
Yes.
Or it's that moment when you just needed to, get something and refer to your email. So you go to your mail and then you realize, oh my God, I've run out of data.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do not want those kind of things.
No.
Safaricom decided, let's sort out Dr. Patrick Kanyoro by coming up with one package. It's called the all-in-one package.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The all-in-one package says that for a certain amount per month, start with 2,000 shillings. Let's give you an example of 2,000 bob.
Yes.
With 2,000 shillings per month, you get 1,000 minutes talk time. Okay? You get 2,000 SMSs.
Yes.
You get 17 GB of data. And you get free WhatsApp. It means that there's no time when Dr. Kanyoro is not able to communicate with whoever, whether it's your stakeholders in mining, whether it's your own personal businesses and your people, whether it's your own family. Anytime you want to communicate, like that, you have it. Only 2,000 bob. Now, how do you do it? You may choose, by the way, 2,000 bob may be okay. You may look at 1,000 minutes and say, actually, I usually talk much longer than that in a month, and I want something bigger. If you dial star 544 hash, that's star 544 hash, it'll bring a suite of options. Select the one that says go monthly. It'll bring a suite of options. Now select the all-in-one package that you want. You want the 2,000 bob one, pick it. You want the 5,000 bob one, pick it. It tells you what you get. Yes. Of course, if 2,000 is giving you 1,000 minutes and 2,000 SMSs and 17 GB, 5,000 is giving you a lot more. Senior?
Yes.
And if you think about it, instead of those things of, buying every time you're topping up, you're buying data and then you go and buy airtime and then 2,000 sorted. Hapo vipi?
That's good. I mean,
Kabisa,
you.
senior?
Yes.
Very good. Now, I'm going to welcome you with the day's proverb. Our colleague City is away this week.
Yeah.
He has taken a couple of days to relax.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give you the day's proverb. This week, the proverbs are from Libya.
Okay.
Listen to the proverb and then you'll give us your interpretation of it. The small donkey is the one that everybody rides. The small donkey is the one that everybody rides. What do you think the Libyans are saying?
What the Libyans are saying, in my own thoughts, is that normally it is that person that is available that carries most of the burdens, because a donkey basically carries burdens, and therefore, if it is small, it is not as difficult perhaps to manage as the big one, and therefore would be asked to do much more. Yes. But I generally see this as the people who are simple, those who are humble, will definitely normally be given more tasks by the community. Yes.
So the lesson here is don't be humble.
You'll be misused.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Introduce us to the Kenya Chamber of Mines. What is it?
Thank you very much. The Kenya Chamber of Mines is a non-profit organization, is a membership organization that was founded in 1999. And the basic reason for having the Kenya Chamber of Mines is to do basically three things. Number one is advocacy, because the people in the mining sector, or those who are in the business of mining, need to lobby for a business-friendly environment. We also advocate for a policy that allows people to do the business, not just the business, because remember there's the business, but there's also support for the mining communities. And besides that, there's the most important one, and I think that's why I'm seated here, to create awareness about the possibilities and opportunities in the mining sector, and of course offer training, because we also go out there and engage those who are in the sector.
It's a membership organization.
Yes.
How many members do you have?
We have round about 385 members, but that is still a drop in the ocean, given that we have well over 500,000 people involved in mining one way or the other. Yes.
Who makes up this membership? Individuals, communities, businesses?
Thank you very much. Most members are people who are doing prospecting and prospecting is that aspect of looking for minerals. We also have people who are in actual mining. We also have people who are in mineral processing. We also have professionals who are supporting the mining sector. And among the professionals, the most common professionals in this space are the geologists. We have the mining engineers. We have the lawyers. We have the accountants. We have the surveyors. Yes. And it would be important also to mention that now in this dispensation, we also have members of cooperative societies. So they are also coming in to join the chamber. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
In the practice, then, I mean, if we're getting into that and looking at, so there's members who are obviously members of the association, then bleed into the wider operation of mining in the country, right? So what areas do you look at, and in terms of what they do specifically when it comes to the resources that are available in Kenya?
That is quite a wide question, but generally, what we look at, if I got your question right, is that first of all, for you to become a member, you must be able to demonstrate that indeed you are in that space. Then, in terms of how that gets across to how we permeate the society in terms of our members, is that we have members in different categories. And the members in the different categories have a responsibility to not only articulate their issues, but see how that integrates with the communities in which they carry out the mining. Yes.
Okay.
Let me ask you a more broader question then.
Yes.
What is mining?
Thank you very much. Mining, in a very broad sense, is the act of extracting resources from the ground. That is a very basic definition of mining.
Extracting resources
from the ground. That means that one will either be looking for material, for example, for construction, and what is commonly known as quarrying. If you talk about quarries, that is basically mining, and I think that's the very starting point. But besides that, you also talk about extracting clays like we use for tiles. You know, what we call the kaolin and such material. You could also go beyond, then leave those minerals, for example, limestone, and I've talked about quarrying for ballast, for the building stone or dimension stone, so to speak. And that is the space that a lot of people still do not recognize as mining.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about mining in this country, people think quickly about gold, people think about gemstones, people just think about those high-value minerals. And the truth and the reality is that the minerals I'd mentioned there before are what we call the development minerals. And the development minerals have even a higher impact on the lives of the citizens than perhaps that small band of the precious metals and precious stones.
Okay.
Yes.
So this one's kina quarry and getting of ballast and all, that's mining.
It is mining.
Sand harvesting, is it mining?
Sand harvesting is mining. Yes. So just Ratif, to put this matter in perspective, the world is such that what you do not get from the farm, you must get from the mine. And perhaps this is where we now need to start this conversation, just to demonstrate how important mining is to this country and actually to humanity.
Right.
Yes.
So, you talk about the opportunities and the possibilities of what mining can actually present for Kenya.
Yes.
And we also know that the wider Africa is so resource rich.
Yes.
And that in terms of what is available, probably it's undiscovered. So if you were to give an overview of what probably is available in Kenya that has not been resourced yet in the mining world, what are we looking at?
That's quite some task, but I will make an attempt. Just to, first of all, create context. Africa contributes well over 30% of the minerals that the world uses. Africa produces that. Now, if you look at Kenya and where we are located geologically, you'll find that down from, Migori, the counties bordering Tanzania, all the way up to Turkana, that borders Uganda, Sudan, and Ethiopia, in the north, the entire belt is well resourced in different minerals. But the most notable one is, of course, gold. But we also have many, many minerals in that space. So to come back to your question, the biggest challenge we have, and I think that's where our homework ought to start, is just to take you back to history. The first minerals in this country, I think, were traced in 1893 in Narok County. That is Rorgorian, where even today there's a lot of gold mining. Sometime back in 1922-23, there was a gold rush in Western Kenya. That's that's 100
years ago, yes.
Yeah.
But we have still not gained traction in this sector, impacting this economy.
Why?
Good. That is a question of, it has many reasons. Number one reason, most of us, when we went to school, we were made to believe, or the curriculum was skewed, and I think it is still skewed toward that direction, that Kenya is not a resource-rich, is not a resource-rich.
It's not a mineral-rich country.
Exactly.
Is it?
And it is.
Kenya is a mineral-rich country.
It is a mineral-rich country, just by virtue of where we are located geologically. And just to bring this point home.
Hold on.
Yes.
When we think minerals,
yes,
go DRC.
That's right.
They are not far from us.
Yeah.
Look at, Uganda.
Uganda.
Tanzania have minerals,
correct,
right? Yeah. So that means because we're in this proximity, we are as rich as almost these guys could be.
Yes, and we have one advantage. We have enjoyed political stability since independence. So someone explain to me, why have we not?
And I think that's my issue here.
Why have we not tapped into this?
Yeah, we have to ask, why have you not tapped into it? Because if you want to do a geographical spin, just to walk in your head, we look at some of the countries to the south of Kenya,
yes.
Botswana being one of them,
thank you,
which for a large number of its 5 million strong population, people have made money, people have established livelihoods off the diamonds.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The current president has been so forward-thinking to say that this whole business of external parties coming in, mining our diamonds and taking them away has to come to an end. If you're going to come and mine, we're going to be very, categorical about it that we will share. And the majority of it will come to us. We're looking at that happening in South Africa with the diamonds and the gold. We look at that, maybe to a lower extent in Ghana with the gold as well. We can't talk about DR Congo because they're still being manipulated to the hilt when it comes to their resources. But why are we able to see that there is some leadership which leans on understanding how mineral rich you are and actually making sure that something is done with it? If that truly is the case, that is so much in terms of wealth, why is it not being leveraged on?
My quick take on this is a cocktail of answers. Number one, I think the curriculum has been skewed in a way that all of us, as we were brought up and as we went to school, we've been made to believe that there are no minerals in this country. And I think that is something that needs to change. Number two, just to put this matter in perspective, I've talked about the 1893, the 1922, the 1935, some copper mining in Migori County, what were called the Makalda mines, and which mines are still there today. The mines in Kakamega, the gold mines. Now, all that was done. Remember, let me call it the Department of Mining in this country was established by the colonial government in 1933. And what happened when it was set up in 1933? Thereafter, we got the Mining Act Cap 306, 1940. Now, the Mining Act, done in 1940, lent the sector or gave direction to the sector until 2016. That is 76 years.
Same law
for 76 years.
No amendments.
Well, I am not aware of any amendments. There perhaps could have been some amendments. But what we are looking at is look at a span of 76 years and the opportunities lost. Why opportunities lost? This act was done by Mzungu, who had no interest in Kenyans. And therefore, even when we became an independent nation, we still didn't see it as an urgent, matter to address those issues there. But we are grateful that in 2016, we were able to change the law. We now have what we call the Mining Act 2016. And I'm happy to say that even after 8 years of, running with the Mining Act 2016, there is an amendment bill in Parliament as we sit here, and it looks at enhancing the regulatory environment so that then, the legal framework, so that then we have a better area to operate in.
I want to come back here. You're saying Kenya is mineral rich.
Yes.
Has there been any study done by government to establish the extent of our mineral wealth?
I will say this, that if you go back to the library, there are reports that, again, I do know that I have one that dates back to 1935. And therefore, since 1930s, we have many reports by the colonial government, and we have many reports by the current government. Then we have many reports submitted by the prospecting companies. Because if I'm a prospecting company and I'm working in the field, then the findings I get when I do my work, I ought to file them with the Directorate of Mines. Means we have those records. But more importantly, in terms of a deliberate government action, I think 2-3 years ago, we did the airborne geophysical survey. And the unfortunate bit is that, yes, the survey was done, of course, using taxpayers' money, but the report has not been released to the sector players and to the citizens.
Since what year? Sorry,
Let's spend some time there.
I think that was completed last year.
Okay.
So it was, who conducted the survey?
The survey was, of course, conducted by the government of Kenya. Yes.
You said it's airborne geological
yes.
survey.
Yes.
How was that conducted?
In terms of the survey was...
What do they do?
What this means is that you get an equipment. An equipment, I mean an aeroplane. Of course, it's fixed with the appropriate tools and equipment.
Yep.
And the essence is for it to be able to detect and map the anomalies. Anomalies is just saying that, yes, here we can detect or sense, so to speak, a particular element. Yes, so that was done.
When you say it's the government of Kenya,
yes,
it's officers from the Ministry of Mining. Was it our geologists?
This thing was done by... I think it was a multi-agency team. It is a combination of guys from different departments. But I do recall initially it was supposed to be done by a Chinese entity. But I'm told for security reasons, it was deemed fit that it be done by Kenya's security team together with professionals in the space.
Okay.
Yes.
So Kenya's security,
yes,
plus our geologists and other experts,
yes,
on this are the ones who did the survey.
Yes, that's the information I have. I still cannot validate this because I haven't seen I haven't read the report, but that is the info I have.
Ordinarily, how long would it take to compile the report? Or in their plans, as much as you know.
Yes.
What was the plan? We do the survey from this point to this point.
Yes.
We complete the airborne survey at this point.
Yes.
We retreat to make a report. When should the report have been ready?
Ideally, and what ought to happen anywhere. Even because the same things are done by private companies. I mean, elsewhere. Even in this country, I think I know about 2 companies that have previously done this. Just like you've said, you do the survey. Once you've done that, you sit and compile the report, and then you release the report. So I do not want to read anything into it, but what I would want to say as a stakeholder in the sector is that it is important that the report is released to the sector prayers, not just to the sector prayers, to all Kenyans, because Kenyans are entitled to that information, so that then they can make some decisions on, this is the report, I've looked at it, I see an opportunity here, I can invest here, or I can advise someone to invest here. Yeah.
So before this particular survey, what was the previous survey? When was the previous survey done by government of Kenya? So what's the latest official report on our mineral wealth?
I will say that ordinarily there will be annual reports from the Directorate of Mines. But gradually I will say that they are not basically for public consumption. You will not find them, then they are published. What we normally get are just some snippets into the info that is flowing in there, which of course you get from the, like the every year we have the annual economic survey. Then you are able to see that this year we exported so many kilograms of this material, so many tons of copper, of iron ore, that kind of information.
That tells us what we've already extracted.
Come again?
That tells us what we've extracted.
Yes.
In terms of our potential,
yes,
we do not have.
In terms of our potential, we have not done anything. I think we have not done, let me not say we've not done anything, but we've not done much. And let me just put this clearly so that it is clear to us. For example, if you are exploring or you want to establish the deposit available in this room where we are sitting, what you ought to do is to drill to get an idea of, you've already earmarked that, yes, there is a potential for a resource in this room.
Yeah.
You ought to drill so that then you are able to get a feel of the depth of what is available, and then you are able to extrapolate that and see then how many tons of resource X am I likely to get from these random mass. So to be honest, that we have not done in any comprehensive way.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a break. It's 26 minutes to 8. Our guest this morning is Dr. Kanyoro Patrick. Dr. Kanyoro is the chairman of the Kenya Chamber of Mines. He's here to tell us about the mining sector in the country, the potential, the ups, the downs, the challenges that they're faced by the players in this sector. The mining chamber, the Kenya Chamber of Mines, brings together members who are basically playing in the entire value chain, from prospecting to mining to processing, professionals in the sector to those that export, those that make the money. And of course, even some those that have worked in the regulatory agencies also come in. Senor?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll continue this conversation shortly. Remember, we've told you about star 544 hash by Safaricom. If you dial star 544 hash and then go to Go Monthly, you will see the all-in-one packages. Select the package that you'd like. From 2,000 bob, 2,000 gives you 1,000 minutes of talk time, 2,000 SMSs, 17 GB of data. If you do that right now, and then you take a screenshot of that right now, and you post that screenshot for us on our X, on our DM. Don't post it publicly. Just post it on our DM.
Yep.
At the end of this show, somebody's going to get 3,000 shillings. Okay?
Yep.
At the end of the show. That's all you need. Go ahead, subscribe today to the all-in-one package. Send us a DM on our X, Spice FM KE, and then towards the end, our Gen Z social media guy.